Welcome back.
And action.
And welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode, guys.
This video is going to be about broken things.
Yeah.
Replaced items and stuff that got stolen.
Yeah. It's a bit of a different episode for us, but we're at that point that we feel that a few things need to be covered. It's not just all epic adventures every single day of our lives.
Also, you say unicorns and rainbows.
That's it. So we want to show you exactly a few things that happen on the road when you're traveling full time, or even just, you know, maybe if you go to do 6 months or 4 months or whatever, still things need to be done.
Yeah, things break. Things go wrong.
Yeah.
And as we found out, things get stolen.
That's right. So on that note, as I always say, number one, since we left you and I had a massive rant about if you missed it, my G-strings being stolen. And I actually worked out something else the other day. It took me a little while. My Peter Alexander pajamas got stolen too. So whoever you were, you have good taste. My beautiful friends and work family at Baku Swimwear Australia have sent me a replacements, so I'm absolutely chuffed with that. So that's a happy note. I've stopped the rant about that, and we have also got another can of AeroGarden bug spray since the other can got stolen. Another quick thing, you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, what has she got? She's got a new drone. If you have been watching week to week, and thank you so much if you have been, no, I didn't crash the drone. It fell out of the sky. Just crash. Disappeared.
That was ages ago, but...
It was. But, again, it pays to be nice to people, I'm saying, because I emailed DJI. I told them exactly what happened. It has been a little while ago, I know, but a lot's happened since that time. They got back to me, and guess what? Replacement. Pretty excited about that.
How much was it?
It was in total $290. You're probably thinking, ooh, that's expensive. You've got to remember, guys, it was over a $2,000 drone. So I am pretty stoked. They basically asked me to send the broken one back to them so they could, I don't know, look over it.
No, it was pretty broken.
It was smashed up, definitely. So with the replacement, this is what I got, and some new batteries. I was actually out of warranty and out of my care plan. So for $290, thank you so much, DJI. We have a replacement. So that was another win-win-win.
Starlink. That has been
It's been broken, let's just say. Broken.
Yeah. So we've got the Gen 2 actuated ones that spins around, finds the satellites. So since Adelaide River, we've had problems with it trying to find our location. Even though we do the 100 little dots and stuff, it keeps saying determining location. It does work, but very slow, and we did get a lot of times where it would just freeze.
Yeah, nothing.
And stop working. So I said to man, jump on the help desk, see if they can provide you with some guidance on how to maybe fix it. So she did that. They basically got back within about 2 minutes and said, we're going to send you a brand new unit. You have
How good is that?
You have a technical issue. So they did a little test. Technical issue, we're going to send you a brand new unit.
Yeah, and like we were thinking, oh my goodness, how long is this going to take? Where are we going to be? All these sorts of things.
Yep. So
and that was like here within less than a week.
Yeah.
It arrived all the way up in the top end.
And the thing was, it's the Gen 3 version 4.
Yay.
So the latest one on the market. So the version 4.
Winning.
There's the Gen 3, then there's the Gen 3 version 4. The version 4 means you have Wi-Fi 6. It has a bigger range capacity. It's 300 meters square. Plus you can also have 287 users on it.
Hang on. We do not want to service a whole community out here. Just saying.
But that's the specification. So it does come with its own power unit. And then modem. The modem is not a stand-up one like the Gen 2. It's actually a lay-down one.
It's good. But we'll show you. We'll show you.
And bigger dish means more power. So I think between 70 and 100 watts.
How good is that?
But, yeah. But to get a brand new unit,
Not a single cent, guys. Oh, and sorry to interrupt, we got a whole month free as well. So if you're not a Starlinker, it is costly. It's $195 a month.
Yeah.
So winning, we got a whole month's subscription as well.
But the thing was, we do have a Space Tech RJ45 connector that runs through the wall of the caravan.
Which we'll show you. We're going to run through that when we get outside the van.
Yeah.
We'll show you all of that.
That was the only output because I had to get some connections done.
Yeah.
That was the only output. We ran it last night. It seems to be running perfect.
And the only other addition we have to get, which we'll share with you as well, is the barbecue arm conversion.
Yeah, so because we've already got the pole, Barbecue Arm do a mount for the Gen 3, but it's compatible with the Gen 2 pole. So where it pops in and clicks, it's not these ones where you got to sit it on the pole and then screw it up. It actually clicks in.
Yep.
I did see a video. They did a test by driving a car over it. So that's the quality and the toughness of it.
And we like ours mounted on a pole. It might not be for everybody. We see a lot on our travels. People have it on the grass. Honestly, if it was me, I'd probably would have run over it by now.
Yeah.
We find using Barbecue Arm, it's literally such a great product.
Yeah, and they're local to Brisbane.
Totally. Again, we're not sponsored by them in any way. We purchase everything from them with our hard-earned money. So yeah, that's why we're going to stick with that.
And we've got a couple other jobs to do today. The aircon.
Cleaning. I've got cleaning, guys.
Yeah, cleaning to be done.
Aircon, fans. You got some stuff outside to do and you want to show everybody a few other bits and pieces. So we might get cracking. I was just thinking, we haven't even told you guys where we are. I forgot about that. We're in Darwin. We're here. We made it. We made it to the top end. We are currently staying with family on property and it's absolutely stunning. So yeah, we're just going to kick back for a bit. Reason why we thought we'd share this episode. We've got stuff to do like this because again, it's not all rainbows and unicorns and waterfalls and epic places and things like that. So we got to get cracking. The one thing we do love is our TRA ladder. If anyone hasn't seen these, I reckon they're definitely a must for caravanners. This is the bigger version. It actually just Velcros around closed and it has a bag as well because we know Mr. B loves to put everything in a bag. So it comes pretty much like that. Open it out and then across like this. And you've got your steps. It does actually come in a smaller version as well, but hey, when you've got this size, it covers everything and it gives me a high enough stretch to do the solar panels and any sort of maintenance on the outside of the van as well.
It's rated to 150 kilo.
So it's good for big boys as well.
Yeah, I'm going to send you up the ladder now.
Oh, I'm going up the ladder now?
Yep.
Okay,
but before you do that, what we're doing is, because we're in the NT and when we got the van, it didn't have the availability to switch from white to yellow light. I went out to Super Cheap and I got some indicator trailer light or indicator tail light tape. So if you break a tail light, you can put this on. So I'm just going to put that over the white light and see how it works because we get a lot of bugs up here. And we do sit outside a bit, so we're trying to eliminate that. So I cut them into strips, measured it. So we'll just show you how it goes. So we just want to give that lens a bit of a wipe.
So we've put a little bit of alcohol spray on that and just cleaned it. So then that way it'll be good for putting the sticker on, which should be good. I guess this is a cheaper version of replacing the lights. I guess we didn't really get a choice with this van. It just came with. If we were to do a build or get another van, I'd definitely recommend getting the lights to change from white to the orange, which would be definitely good because as Mr. B said, the bugs can be crazy. It's pretty forgiving, this tape. If you do stick it on and it doesn't go right on the spot you want it, you can move it. And it feels pretty durable. Look at that. That's looking pretty good. Now this tape, we actually managed to get it at
Super cheap.
Super cheap, yeah. It was only around about $12.95. I'm not sure exactly how many meters, but definitely enough to do all these and have extras. Yeah,
I did cut it
pretty
a
good.
little bit bigger, and we'll use a scalpel knife just to trim it up. But if you just hold on a tick,
wow, look at that.
It's still quite bright, even though we put the cover over it.
That's going to be amazing, especially out here when we're cooking and doing things like that. So that's probably definitely one little mod to keep up your sleeve. I'm going to say probably anyone that's got like an older van or camper trailer, you may not have had the orange lights fitted. So instead of going out and, you know, spending $80 plus on replacing the whole component.
And having it wired and stuff like that, because it doesn't require a switch.
Just put the tape on.
Yeah. So this is the Starlink pole from Barbecue Arms. So it does have a little clip here that the Starlink clips into. 2 little twisters. Up she goes, lock it in.
So that's pretty much what that little extension leg arm, whatever you want to call it, is that we're waiting for. So that will essentially go onto the back of the Starlink, and then we'll be able to mount it up here. We just put this, you can't really see, but we just put it in the old jockey wheel clamp here, because obviously we've got the blackjack now, so that's what you use it for. If you do still use a jockey wheel and you want a barbecue arm for the Starlink pole, you can get an additional bracket that comes with it.
Just clips on, just bolts on the side here, just to take it on and off as you use it.
You don't have to have it on the front either, you can have it at the back.
On the side.
Yeah. Absolutely, and the other great thing about Barbecue Arm is they do have, and that's why they're called Barbecue Arm, they started off with the actual arm for the barbecue, so you can put the Weber on, and it is universal as well. So,
but if you don't like the black, you can get the aluminium.
Yep, so this is aluminium, but powder coated.
Powder coated, yeah.
Yep, so that's that. Where our Starlink adapter goes through. Can you explain that one, Mr. B? Because I always get it mixed up.
Yeah, so it has a, it's from Space Tech, and it's just an RJ45 connector. There's a little adapter in the middle and an RJ45 connector on the other side. It just saves having to have a window open or try to find a space to run your Starlink cable in. We did get it done at trial, because you've got to actually find out where the wires are in your wall before you start drilling holes.
Again, if I was getting a van and getting a build done, there are a few options out there nowadays. For us, this was actually quite an affordable one. I think, what was that componentry? It was under $100.
I think it was $88 for the StarTech bits and pieces.
Which is that componentry through here, and then goes on the inside of the cupboard. But
and then with the new Starlink cable, I took it into a communications place in Darwin, explained to him what I want. He was really good, he knew what I wanted, and all done, tested and picked it up, and it works a treat. At the moment we've got the cable sitting on the roof, because usually we run it down beside the van and I wrap it around the tap near the front and get a couple of zippy clip things and attach it to the pole just so it's not flopping around. But yeah,
seems to be working a treat. But anyway, I will show you where we're mounting the Starlink at the moment, because obviously we're still waiting for that part. On moving day and then resetting up, I'm generally the one that does this, so it is really easy. It's just a matter of unclipping this one, popping your cable in, and then just attaching all that. So it's really easy. From this one as well, we've actually we picked up, we should show everybody when we get over to Digger, we've actually got one of the tie gear little steps, so I don't even have to get the ladder out now, and I can easily reach there and get the job done. So quick and easy, and generally we've got Starlink set up in what, less than 5 minutes.
But
so it's really good.
The cap that goes on there is an IP76, so that's water and dust proof as well. So if you think, oh, I'll put a hole in there, I'm going to get, nope. And like I said, there is a joiner in the middle that's RJ45 to RJ45. Never been a single problem.
And on that note as well, we were in Cyclone Alfred. We had the floods. We were stuck in Richmond for that 7 days we couldn't get out. We had crazy weather. Our Starlink worked perfectly then.
And not a drop of water in the van.
And no water that's come in the van ever. So, yeah, good system. So I've made it to the top of the van on the ladder. I'm just going to try and show you as best I can. We're just being lazy. We didn't want to put the awning down. So we've just got the Starlink up there. We've put the antenna up on the Caravan. We don't actually use that because we run, I don't know, I'm just going to call it smart TV, so you don't actually need the antenna. So we've had to put the antenna up to gain real estate on the roof to put Starlink there. But as mentioned, it's not going to stay there forever. It'll just be until we can get that part. And then we can go from there. We were actually having this discussion yesterday, and I know I'm saying again, going back to if you were to build a van, would we have an antenna? Like, I don't think we need it. And again, it takes up real estate on your roof because that space would easily fit another solar panel. So yeah, maybe consider, do you need an antenna?
All our awning guides, pegs and stuff are all Thai gear. We're not affiliated or sponsored by them. Happy for them if they want to come on and be an ambassador for us.
I think we've spent enough money with them.
Anyhow, so this is it. Packs up. Sits in the back of the Hilux and you can reach up there. One thing, gentlemen, I did sit down and it was a bit like that and I got something caught in between there and it was most painful.
I must admit I had a pretty good laugh, and as you can see, it holds the big fella there, and he's other than something being a bit squashed, he hasn't actually fallen off it. I've been using it a fair bit actually instead of the other stool. We generally keep that in the back of digger. It just fits absolutely perfectly in between one of our little utility boxes and the brass monkey fridge, so it's good to go wherever. It does come in that, I think you call that a gold. And
no, this is sand.
Oh, sand, is it?
And black. Now this is the bigger one. They do have one that's about half the size if you only want a little step, but this is the bigger one.
I think it was, I'm going to say give or take, around about $50.
Something like that, yeah. So just jump online.
Good quality.
Yeah, I mean, everyone would know about the Thai gear awning
ropes
and the pegs and everything.
Yeah.
If you are looking for Thai gear, you can jump online directly, or if you're near a Snowy's outlet in Brisbane or Adelaide, you can pop in and see them directly at Snowy's.
Yeah.
And they stock most of all the Thai gear stuff.
I just did a quick rinse of the aircon filter, I guess you'd call it, and also the vent. It is something that we do all the time, and we do highly recommend just keep an eye on it. Again, we have been lucky enough to have the air conditioner running. It's not only for the fact that it's the humidity. We had a conversation the other day. Mr. B used to live in Darwin back in the day in a house in his military days, and I really don't like the air conditioner. But the thing is here, if you aren't running the air conditioner with the humidity, things grow mould.
Mickey Thompson, Baha Boss. The new rubber we had put on in Adelaide, it has been running a treat. Some people asked, did we go bigger or did we stick? So only changes was we went from a mud and we got a all-terrain LT light truck, 265, 75, 16s, which was what originally was there. Noticed a drop of maybe about 0.7 of a litre to a whole litre over 100 Ks. Done approximately about 7,500 Ks on these ones, so they will be due for a rotate and balance shortly. But all I can say is if you're looking for some new tyres, and I did mention this before, safety over budget, but you still have to be budget mindful. You do investigate what's best for your rig and what's best for your wallet as well. Sometimes once you've set up, the van sometimes will settle and you'll get a little bit of either left or right movement or up and down. I noticed last night my bedside drawer was sort of shutting by itself, so I knew it was a little bit forward and a little bit skew width. So what I've done is raised all the legs, raised the front just a fraction, and then I've popped all the legs back down. I've made sure that the right side, because we didn't put it on a ramp because it was level, that the right side I've actually raised the legs a little bit higher than the left, but everything's done. Some people do ask, and there is talk about, do you put your legs straight or at an angle? And I've seen that some people swear by straight. I've read where the angle, if you've got a bit of an angle, you lose that. If your legs are straight and you're walking, you get that, whereas you've got a bit of an angle, it's like a pyramid, which is the most stable shape there is. It doesn't move as much when you walk backwards and forwards. So up to you, but I always reckon throw a little bit of an angle in there. I will say these do become a little bit brittle over time. They are basically a dust mud protector for your locks so you don't get all your crap in there. We had one, the little connector got a little bit brittle, broke off. So I've actually ordered more, but for future, I'm gonna carry at least 4 with me in case I need to replace them. Tow bars. Ours, as always, been a little bit loose. And I spoke to heaps of people and they've got the same problem. So I actually brought these things called shims. If you're a Navy guy, laugh your head off. From Roof Rack Galore, and I think they're called Mr. Tow Bar. They're about 20 bucks and they're slight aluminium, about a mil thick, and they slide in around your tow bar and they keep it nice and firm. I've just got to readjust mine because they've come a little bit loose. Update on the safari snorkel. I think we've had now about 5 weeks. Works a treat. Some people complain about the noise. When you deaccelerate, it will suck air in. You hear it occasionally, not very much. But I'd say if you're traveling in the outback or you're doing a lap of Australia and you have the coin to drop on a snorkel, probably the one best investment you could probably get after a winch. We did come across a situation where heading towards the NT, there was multiple water crossings due to the flooding, and the RTA and the Road Traffic Authority and the traffic management people said if we didn't have a snorkel, they wouldn't have let us cross, even being a little bit higher. They just didn't want to deal with a car and van stuck in the middle of a floodplain. There was a lot of cars that had been stopped, even four-wheel drives that didn't have snorkels. So also to remember though, if you're getting a snorkel, make sure you get the diff drop kit and breathers all done as well, because even though you've got a snorkel, you still got to look after that as well. MSA mirrors. We've had a few questions about these. So we got them installed in Tassie. I did have some of the strap-on ones and they are useless. They move around, there's too much vibrations. So these ones, they do have a little adapter here so you can pull them out and lock them in. But as soon as they're down, they're still electric, everything works. They have got the new model out now, which will auto close, but these are a game changer. We do have the Steady Evo Cross lights, driving lights. I did get the blue covers. I've also got the Angry Face covers. I'm gonna say the blue covers are really good at night. It seems to illuminate a lot more, but not as being as glary, especially off signs and stuff like that.
Bugger.
I love the ads with the dog.
You can't help yourself, can you? I'm loving the Hilux. It is definitely got room. It is a workhorse. We don't have all the fancy bells and whistles, but it suits our needs. You know, this thing has definitely done so many kilometers towing the van and we haven't had to worry about it. So what I'm gonna say is if you have been considering doing a lap, doing more travel, just make sure that your car's reliable. It doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a new vehicle that costs a whole lot of money. We've actually been having problems with the GoPro. It's so hot that it keeps turning off. And yes, that is a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a YouTuber's nightmare. Not only do things break in the caravan, in the car, Yep, the camera stops recording. Yeah, just trying to keep it real, guys. Just trying to keep it real. I'm going to do a bit of a spring clean in the van now. Yes, the van does get messy. It gets dusty. I am constantly wiping down cupboards, cleaning little nooks and crannies. I think, sometimes go a little bit overboard in the caravan, but it is our home. It is a small space, and I do like to keep it tidy. We have had people comment and say, oh, your van, it's always tidy. Yeah, we try and keep it tidy. We like it that way. Again, ex-military, Mr. B, everything has a place, and it's usually generally somewhere where we know where it is, or yeah, we just like to keep things tidy. But today I'm going to take you through what I clean in the van. I've got to pull the Sirocco fans apart, give them a good clean, and just do an overall clean in the van. So let's go cleaning. I like to have floor mats in the van, even when we go to places that are a little bit dusty and stuff. I just like floor mats. I don't know, call me crazy. I'm always dusting them out. But I just like them. I sort of alternate them as well. I always keep a couple of extra ones in the van and just sort of rotate them. I do find that when I wash them, I don't actually wash them in the washing machine in the caravan. I just find that that is a little bit small. But when we do make stops to towns, I'll tend to use the laundromat that you are able to use the washing machines for rugs, that type of thing. But yeah, they dry pretty quick in any case. The other thing that I love using in our caravan is my little vacuum cleaner. I know a lot of people use the Dyson and things like that, but I'm going to show you our little vacuum cleaner, and it is absolutely amazing. This is it, guys. This is our vacuum cleaner for the caravan and also for the car. It is a Shark rechargeable little handheld vacuum cleaner, and I absolutely love it. We have had it, I'm going to say, for probably about a year and a half. It's definitely not let me down. I generally keep it plugged in underneath the sink near the washing machine. So it is just rechargeable. It's got its own little station. It does come with a couple of different heads that you can pop on here that just clip in as well. It doesn't have a bag or anything. You just press this here and then it opens, and you've got a filter that just dusts out. I think when we bought this it was around about $160. I don't know, maybe look it up. I'm thinking that they may have come down in price, but it's a great little vacuum cleaner. It's also good, as I said, for vacuuming out the Hilux. It's light, easy, and definitely hasn't let us down. As soon as we're keeping it real, guys, this is the dust reduction system. It's a bit of a mouthful. This one is the Dometic one. It's not actually run on independent wiring or anything. It actually goes by the speed that you travel at. I don't know the ins and outs. Don't quiz me on it. If you're not sure, just look it up. But anyway, I'm thinking that there probably is going to be dust in here because we have actually done so many dirt roads, and being in the outback, yep, the dirt is red. So I'll carefully open it. It does need a clean, so it is on the list, and yep, that is some of the dust. I'll just flick that around and show you. So it's actually working. It's working a treat. So I'm actually going to pull that apart, get that filter out, give it a good clean. Would we recommend having this in a new build or in a caravan? Absolutely, 100%. We were lucky enough that it actually came with our Trail Platinum, but 100% we would actually get the same model again. We've not had any problems with it, and as I said, it's easy to clean. I'll start from the beginning. When we actually first got the van and we went down dirt roads, I was so excited to actually go in the van and like do the wipe down on the benches and the table and go like, there's no dust, this thing's working. I don't actually do that anymore because I know it's actually working. So yeah, 100% we recommend these.
So you may be thinking, how do they get so much dust in? It's not from the dust reduction system. That works a treat. It's the fact that when you open the vents in the bathroom, when you open and close the door, sometimes we have the windows open, sometimes we just have the screen door open and screen door closed and the other door open, and dust just seems to accumulate. And especially with a fan, if you live in a house, you've got a fan, you know that for some reason, it loves to collect dust. So we're always doing a bit of a clean.
So I'm just going to pull the Sirocco fan apart. There are a couple of ways to do it. I'm going to try and make it simple. It's got 4 little clips on the, I guess, back of the fan. So you've got the front here, so just spin it around to the back. So 2 down the bottom and 2 at the top. You can actually just pinch them together. So you just pinch them together and push, and do that on all 4. It's going to take you probably less than 10 minutes to clean your Sirocco fan. Just a quick little note on this little sticker here. It's one of those ones that you get at the cheap shop. They come in a pack. It's a little bit of rubber. We just find when we are traveling and we use the lock, this is the bottom part of your Sirocco fan here, just flick that to the lock position there. It's not going to move around, but you do get a little bit of vibration, especially going down Coro roads and stuff like that. We do love to keep our van looking spicky spacky, so it's just so it doesn't rub on the wall or anything, we just pop one of those little dots there. So that's worked an absolute treat. And yeah, look how shiny the fan is. One more to go. On that note, we had these Sirocco fans actually put in the van after we purchased it. This build had I think they're like an Aussie Traveller fan. I'm not going to knock them, but I'm going to say they're definitely not as good as the Sirocco fan. Price wise, these are probably only around about $50 dearer than what those ones were, but these are definitely way better. They do have a timer function on them as well. So there's 3 settings there, and then you've got your 3 speed setting. We generally like to run them pretty much all the time, one on either side. As I said, you can tilt them if you're cooking or just sitting in the lounge area. You can sort of direct them whichever way you want. And then, yeah, I think they're really a good addition to any caravan or motorhome.
A quick overview of the inside to do with Starlink. So RJ45 connector, that runs through the wall, goes to the outside cable that connects to the dish. Connected cafe hole through the wall. This is our router, power pack behind, running on 240 volt. Pretty simple setup. Like I said, make sure if you're going to get a hole drilled, you get someone who knows where the cabling is located in your wall. I decided when we got the van that I was not going to carry 26,000 keys on a key ring. I was just going to carry the main door key, the front boot key, and our gas bottle barbecue. So all the other keys for other things such as toilet, water tanks, everything is located in the van. Then you're just carrying minimal with you. You don't have to carry around a large chunk of keys with you. As you may have seen from a previous episode, we were having a issue with our stereo. It was turning on and off, not turning on, not turning off. It was basically playing up a lot. I decided to go and buy a brand new stereo. It cost me $127 from, I think it was Super Cheap. And I got the Kenwood one up here. It's been working a treat since we got it. Not had one single problem. So if your stereo is playing up, you can either get it checked by an auto electrician or just buy a new one and see how you go.
I'm just going to put back the air conditioner filters now so they've all dried out. Nice and clean. Just for information as well, you can actually still run your AC without those. Yeah. So we have actually had the aircon on just because of the humidity outside is just stifling. So that's feeling so much better already. And with the Sirocco fans all cleaned, yeah, we should be running so much more efficiently now. We haven't had any problems with this air conditioning system. I've got to say it has been put through its paces even when we were out at Burra and we did a brief chat about the air conditioner. What were we sitting on out there? I think it was even like 47
Yeah, it was. So at night we change it to dehumidify, which sits on about 23 or 24, and then throughout the day we switch it back over to AC properly, and we're at about 21. So
I know people are going to say, oh, you need to stick it at 24. And we've done a lot of research on caravan air conditioning systems, and I know that it is rated at a home system for 24. Do your research. We know that in our caravan, 21 is really good. We only have it on a low fan, and it seems to be working fine.
Yeah.
No
Especially at night, if you are getting a little bit chilly, just throw it on dehumidify. It just cools it down, but doesn't make it freezing. Just mainly, I think it's just a bit of a dry aircon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it doesn't even make, you don't even hear, especially with this one. I'm not sure the brand. Can you see what it is? Bel Air.
It's a Bel
Something
Air.
or other. It came with the van. I'm sure a lot of vans have similar
Bel Air
units.
3400.
But yeah, it is very quiet, especially when we have it on the night mode as well. So yeah, absolutely loving that.
Never had a problem with it.
No, it's been really good. All right, I keep banging on. I've got more cleaning to do, so I literally have to get onto it. There's a couple of other things I want to share with you as well, but cleaning is, I've got to do cleaning, right?
Yeah.
With our ensuite shower, I tend to use just a little bit of Jiffy, and I also use just like washing up liquid. I find with the washing up liquid, it is quite gentle on anything, you know, rubbers, seals, even cleaning the fly screens in the van. And I mean, realistically, I've always got washing up liquid available no matter where we are traveling Australia. The one thing I am mindful when we are off grid and we are just running our water in our tanks, I definitely don't do big cleans in the shower. I will then wait until we return back to a caravan park, or we are lucky enough to go to private property and be on water mains. So it's definitely something that I do love to keep clean, especially again in the humidity, because everything just feels sticky. I did question, can you use like exit molds and products like that in your caravan showers? Yes, you can, but just be mindful on how long you leave them for. We did have a little bit of mold that was just around the bottom edge of the shower. So I did use an exit mold, only needed to leave it on for about 5 minutes, and it's been perfect ever since. With our non-slip river stone mat, I actually got that at Bunnings. They're like just cheap as chips, about $6 or something like that. I generally will give that a wash on the top and the underneath, and then I usually just hang it outside to dry. It just sort of kills any like mold, bacteria or anything like that. But I found even up here in the NT, just using a little bit of a Jiffy and just constantly keeping an eye on things, we haven't actually had too much slime growing in there. I know it might sound disgusting, but in the humidity, I'm saying like everything just gets slimy and sticky. I do like to keep on top of cleaning my fly screens in the van. So once again, I love using just a damp Chucks cloth. I think sometimes people are a little bit scared to clean the fly screens in a caravan because, you know, they're thinking, oh, they might be fragile. They're actually tougher than what you'd expect. We have two types, only because two of the windows in our caravan were actually replaced, and they were replaced with the newer style. So it's just the smooth mesh. So these are what I call the concertinaed fly screens. So if yours look like this, they sort of go together. They do have these two fly screen strings through the sides. I've cleaned these so many times it's not funny now, but the best way that I do it is literally just pull it so it actually goes smooth, and then you can actually just clean it like that either way. And then once you've done that, it literally just goes back into place. And then when you do the bottom, just take it up the other way and just clean and rub across. It may look like you're damaging it, but it actually just bounces back into place. And then your screens stay looking nice and new. What a day we've had. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what it takes to clean, do a little bit of maintenance, do a few odd jobs, maintenance, same but different.
Yep.
Fix things. It's just daily stuff, I guess, living on the road.
Stuff that needs to be done that a lot of YouTubers don't show you.
Yeah, we hope you got something out of it anyway. And just remember, if there's anything you want to ask or you're not sure about, we're always here. Flick us a comment below on YouTube, or you can always reach out to us on our socials, which is Instagram and Facebook. That'll give you an up-to-date day-to-day of what we're doing and where we are as well.
Yep.
Unfortunately, a lot of people have also said, I'll just quickly cover this, how come the week or whatever it was that you're in so-and-so and now you're in here? With YouTube, it is week by week. A lot goes into it, guys. As YouTubers know, you still want to enjoy what you're doing, and we want to share with you so much of what we're doing and what we love.
Yep.
But it does take time.
It does.
So sometimes we can't be up to date, but we try to be. Okay, I want to end this on a serious note for caravanning and traveling. And it still gets me emotional. And I know you're going to say, get yourself together. It's been over a year since we had our accident. I'm just assuming that everyone that's watching has already watched that episode of the accident. If you haven't, flick back. Insurance, please guys, if you have a caravan, if you're looking at traveling, check your insurance, check what insurance companies you might want to go with that are going to cover you for specific things. It is so important. So many people don't check, and it's only when they need it
that they realise that they're not covered.
Exactly, 100%. And
Yep.
we try and have these conversations with travellers on our way, and I always say, you know, what insurance do you have? Are you covered for incidentals, this, that and everything else? Or even, we'll just quickly cover Ultra Care. We're with RACQ.
Which is roadside, yes.
Yeah, we're with RACQ for the Hilux insurance, the caravan insurance, and then Ultra Care is an additional cover which covers our caravan and our car, and I guess us in a way, if we were to break down anywhere in Australia. There is different levels of cover that you can have. We have the top of the range RV caravanning cover, basically meaning we can be as far away from what we call like a home address, so to speak, and we will be covered to get our caravan and our car and us back to a safe point for repair.
Yep.
Again, when we had the accident, we had to make our way back to Queensland. So please guys, just check your insurance. A lot of people that I've had conversation with go, oh yeah, but I'm covered for, you know, $150,000 on my caravan. You may not know that each year it actually depreciates.
Yep.
And by however many years that is, look at the price of caravans now. Are you, if you were to have a write-off like we did, can you cover what you had?
That's right. Yep. They can anywhere between 5 to 10% depreciation yearly. So when they send you a renewal notice,
Check it.
Check to what they're actually covering your van for.
And your vehicle.
Yeah.
And your accessories. I know that I'm probably, you know, harping on about it a little bit. I am really passionate about it because people are not covered, and we hear it nearly weekly. I reckon we hear it from other people we've met, because we always end up on a topic of, oh, you had the accident or this, or, you know, different things, don't we?
Yeah, but the other thing to be mindful of when your insurance is your vehicle and caravan being both roadworthy and weight compliant, because insurance companies will go and get everything checked because they're happy not to pay you out.
Yeah.
So if you're overweight, chances are you're not going to be covered. Best thing to invest in is a dash cam as well. There's so many scammers out there that will slam their brakes on in front of you to say you caused the accident, and vice versa, like stuff like that. So if you've got a dash cam, you're fully covered, and that was the saving grace when we had our accident, that we asked the person behind us. Well, it wasn't saving grace, but it gave the police all the information that they needed to do with the accident.
Exactly. And again, when we made our way back, it was literally the first mod that we decided that we were going to get for the Hilux. So we have touched base on it a little bit before. We've got black view, so we have that forward camera and rear facing camera on the Hilux. It is also, if you look at it this way, a safety as well. So it is hardwired to the vehicle. So when we are just stationary, even at night, if we pulled up to a free camp, so to speak, if we're only staying for one night, chances we're not disconnecting from the van. But if we strategically place the vehicle and it gets a, would you call it, like a activation that something's passed,
motion sensor,
it's capturing what's happening even when we're sleeping. So it is it like an extra safety device?
Yeah,
it is. I mean, we have been out in remote areas and other people have turned up and we have seen what vehicle, or we may not have heard them during the night, but it's activated. So, and
the good thing is we have the app for the camera, so if something's going on outside, we don't necessarily need to leave the safety of the van. We can view what's going with the front and rear camera to see what's actually happening. And sometimes, and this has probably become more prominent now that we're in the NT, sometimes it's just easier to let the person steal what they're stealing. There's a lot of people pull a knife or something like that and you end up dead over a vehicle, something like that.
Yeah, totally agree.
I say that, but I would probably, if someone was stealing my car, I'd probably leave the van and confront them.
You just need to be mindful of safety, but like you say, you want to be chasing them, but you need to be, sometimes it's just, if it's insured, let it go. Let it go. Just be safe, as we always say. I probably got more to tell you about that, but I can't even think of it now. But if you do have any questions about insurance, because I am really passionate about it, flick me a message or something below. Or if you know something that I might not know as well. I'm not claiming to know everything about insurance, but I know we went through a big enough ordeal to know what we are covered for and what you're not covered for. So,
but it was funny, even when we were at the Millmerran Camp Oven Festival and RACQ were there talking about weights and stuff like that, they actually have watched and used our video in some of their training. Yeah,
that was quite overwhelming. That was like, they had their big truck and all their weights set up and their whole show to educate caravanners. And Mr. B and I walked over, and the gentleman that was on the stand, he just went, and I just went, and he goes, "You guys are from the accident." Yeah, I think we're known from the accident.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that note, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yep. Go on adventures, have fun. Please, when you're out there, always, please be safe.
Yeah. And we will be back to adventures next episode. See you then, guys. Wave Mr. B.
Bugger.